to listen to one of our kind of call centers and dreading it, I must be honest, thinking, oh my God, it's going to be one of those things. And I could not believe. I first thought I'd been set up. The person was so lovely and so eager to kind of resolve the customer problem. So I stayed there for a whole day thinking it must be just kind of a lucky experience, but it wasn't. And we come to the office every day, and that's what our CEO does. In fact, our CEO talks every day to one customer to make sure he stays in touch with the kind of Sage customers. And that's what we do. We kind of say we come to the office to live and breathe business, to live and breathe our customer business. But again, taking you a little bit to other brands and why that kind of customer experience is important, or why experience is important, full stop. And again, if you look at the kind of journey, how the brand has developed, it started from the kind of commodity. At the end of the day, in the long, long past, there was a product. And depending who produced it, and on the price, depending on what, that's how it would be sold. Then it turned to a good and service and an experience. And one of the brands that does it really well, and you probably very well known, again, is O2. And if you look, in the very past, there was a phone. Then it started to be all about the kind of branded and the good. Then O2 has introduced a service to that and added into that experience. And now, actually, it is no longer talking that much about the product. It's no longer advertising on, this package is better than the other. Yes, all of those things are there on the tactical level, but actually it is the experience that O2 offers to the customers. It is the perception that O2 is trying to get to the customers that it is better to be an O2 customer. So although you can all go to O2 Dome and listen to the concert music, if you are an O2 customer, you've got a priority, you've got it better. So I talked about the kind of experience and those kind of emotions that hopefully O2 is creating for their customers, and hopefully for the competitors, that kind of little bit of envy that it would be nice to be O2 customer. And those emotions are actually crucial for any brand, because at the end of the day we make very, very few decisions based on the kind of rational thought alone. I wish sometimes I was a bit more rational. I've got 4 iPods, I love them so much. Every time there is a new one coming, I buy another one because I like them. It's not because I need one. And for so many times I choose one place over the other, not because the food is slightly better or maybe the price is a little bit different. It's because I like it. I like the experience. I like how I feel there as a customer. So those kind of emotions are absolutely crucial because they open the door to the customer. They give you the loyalty, especially now in the very difficult kind of economic climate. That's what you're going to get from those customers who love you, who believe in you. They will be loyal to you. And of course, it gives you that greater opportunity for innovation because you can experiment, you can play. And most importantly of all, it gives you those advocates who will, experiencing your product or service, leave and recommend it to many, many friends. And although in the past, there was that rule, one kind of customer repeats to X amount of customers, I don't remember the numbers, but nowadays, with the power of kind of internet, it's very quick. If you get a bad experience to a customer, a lot of people will be talking about it. And if you give a great experience, that's also very easy to share nowadays. So, easy for me to say, at Sage, we aspire to deliver that great experience, but we're all facing the same challenges. It's not easy to do that nowadays. It's not easy to produce marketing materials because there is so much clutter. It's so expensive as well. It's so easy to switch off from any of the kind of communications that we do, whether it's on the telly with Sky and the technology, or whether it's, through the leaflets or any material that you send. So you have to think not only about what is that experience at every point of the contact the customer has got with me, whether it's on the phone, whether it's through the software in our case, whether it's simply through talking to somebody else who experienced your product or service. And not only that, you have to think, how am I going to communicate to all of those customers in a different way? How am I going to grab their attention? How am I going to get them to like me? Because if you've got that base of a product and service that is solid, that is as good or better than your competitors, the rest is about creating an emotion. And the rest is about creating that bond between you and your potential customer. So that's the question I'm going to leave you with, as to, do you actually know what is the experience that your customers have got? Because I always find it fascinating. I'm not a business. I've got it easy. I work for a big company. But actually, sometimes I wonder, if I had to call my software company and buy a product and then use it and try to do these accounts, what would be my customer experience? With that, I'll finish. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. I think both of those presentations have highlighted some really important things about the North East, and they resonate certainly very, very closely with me. I had an epiphany in Greggs. I came up here. I have an admission to make. I'm from Hartlepool. I might not sound like it, but I was born and bred. I am a monkey hanger through and through. And I am one of this sort of Geordie diaspora that seems to happen. I'm sorry, I'm not a Geordie. Don't get cross with them. Almost a Geordie. There's so many people who go away and come back like there's an elastic band fastened around their necks. I keep meeting them over and over again because they just feel that need to come home. And I'm one of them. I did my MBA up here. But in looking around at all the various places that I could do my MBA, having lived in London for 20 years, lived abroad before that, I came up here and I went to Greggs. I'd had a conversation with the guys at the business school and I went into Greggs and I got a stotty. I'd never seen a stotty before. I haven't been to Newcastle for 20 years and I was still trying to get over how fabulous Northumberland Street looked because it wasn't like it used to be. And I got this stotty, which was a very strange orange colour and really heavy, and it could have fed me for about a week. And I stood there and I got the stotty in one hand and gave it to the girl. She put it in a bag, gave it back. And I had a £5 note. I gave her a £5 note and I was looking for change. And she gave me change back. Now, I've been called pet at least 3 times across the course of that conversation. Loved twice by the taxi driver who brought me from the station. And I stood there thinking, the people are lovely and the place looks fantastic and it's not expensive. Why did I ever leave? There is something about the North East and something about the people that gives you that emotion, that gives you that experience, and that people hear when you're talking to them. There's a lovely lady here from Golly Slater, Sarah. I rang the guys at Golly Slater because she was a panellist. Every single one of them sounded like they'd just won the lottery. It was fantastic. You don't get that outside of the North East anywhere near as thoroughly as you do with all the people you talk to here. Now, I'm going to throw the floor open to questions. More than happy to sort of moderate between conversation up here on the panel as well, because you might have differing ideas. Does anybody up there or down here have any particular burning issues that they wanted to raise on the back of this? And what we're looking at is growing a brand from North East England, which I think is increasingly possible. While you're thinking of questions, I just want to say one thing. I know that Business Link North East have not necessarily always been viewed in the most positive of lights, but they're doing some fabulous stuff now. Well worth revisiting if you're looking to start a business in the North East. And One North East are doing a fabulous job of supporting them. If you're not an ambassador for One North East, go to the website and sign up. It'll take you 2 or 3 minutes, and you can be part of the rebranding of the Passionate People, Passionate Places campaign that is focusing very much on business in the North East. There's a stand outside. That's the shameless plug for the day, Richard. But it is worth looking into these avenues that you might not think historically have been as helpful as they could be. Business Link and One North East are doing a huge amount in order to support current and new businesses in the North East, and they're well worth engaging with. Right, do we have any questions from the audience? Oh, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, way over there. You got the microphone. Fine, thank you.
Hello.
Sorry, I should say beforehand, as a matter of housekeeping, if you could just say who you are and where you come from before you ask your question, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Hi there, my name's Jeff Ram, I'm a marketing speaker. I travel the country and I promote the North East as much as I can, and I was born in South Shields, I live in South Tyneside, I'm very passionate and proud of the area. And I noticed on the your first sort of brochures over the years, because I always sort of Barbour as a champion of South Tyneside, I noticed that you had Barbour and then you had South Shields, and then over the last sort of 30, 40 years you've sort of missed the South Shields off, and I'm just wondering, have you needed to do that? Because obviously you went globally to promote the brand. Because I just wondered, yeah, nobody knows where South Shields is, possibly, you know, in London, and is it somewhere placed in Scotland, but is there something that we can actually capitalise on and say, well, actually South Shields is unique, it is individual, and we don't have to be a part of a large city? Is that something that you would want to change or revert back to in the future?
Well, I think to be fair, we are using